Right, hi everyone. My name's Claire, not Crystal, if you're new, and hello, and you're a newbie by the way, if you're new. Obviously, that's obvious what that means, hopefully. And if you're an oldie, you know what that means. Right, so nothing to age, obviously. Although I do have a lot of oldies. Anyway, you know what I mean. Look, I just picked that up, and wow, um, we're going right into it. That is so synchronous. This is fucking mental. I don't know what the hell. And also, I just read that's hilarious. I just referenced something about St Patrick's Day when I done that. I can't remember, but it's it's got a green thumbnail and something I don't know what I called it. It was something about a prayer for a miracle or something. And I could say that now because that was fucking ages ago. But what inspired that for me was something in my own life. Yeah, and I did say that. I waffle on about that. I mean, it's channeling, but I waffled on about that in the video that it was like I was just basically really, really being tested at that time. And well, it's one of these things where when I think back to it now, I'd rather not, but things all sort of turned out all right. And it's quite interesting because I literally just referenced that in an email, and I've just had so many like the downloads come in to me so fast anyway. It's hard to keep up with at times, right? But I've just had back to back amazing things just happen. So I'm going to just notice there's a card. Oh my god, that's so synchronistic too. Right. So again, keeping everything anonymous, but it's important generally for people to know this, right? I just looked at 144. Obviously, that's meaningful too. Um. So the most recent one is I had mentioned in the last video that I'd saw a heading of an email, and this is the thing, like this is how psychic I am. Like I actually kind of just knew it was going to say something really amazing before I'd read it because I hadn't read it yet. Um, so, but anyway, long story short, I've actually just pieced something together that with more than one, with two or three people, there's a bit of a well, it's more than three people. There's a bit of a theme of a panic or more than a panic, like a bit of a stuck or a dark place for people, and then um, I'm just piecing together something that was like so I'm keeping this all anonymous, but actually everyone I'm kind of talking about probably wouldn't really even mind me saying, but anyway, I'll just keep it anonymous. Um, that the other week there, so I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago after I'd done the mini taster Tuesday. So if you're new, Mini Taster Tuesday is when I do a free card in inverted commas because it's always more than a card. When it gets busy around here, it might just actually be a card, right? But even when it's one card, I'm always doing a channeled message with whatever the card says, if the card's even got more than one word on it anyway. So, um, because that is again, I just have to. I don't know why they're getting me to point this out, but they're getting me to say it probably because Mars is in Virgo and it's about the details and the details matter. Is anybody literally can read a tarot card. Well, if you know how to read the tarot, or could read an oracle card because that's even easier, right? But not everybody channels, and not everybody is a clear channel. So I'm going to own it there. And it's just so funny. Like some of the synchronicities that I've had. It must be because, and again, because I channel and I weave astrology and absolutely everything I do, it is my obsession. That's quite clear. Um, that and again, twin flames aren't my obsession. It's my life's calling. So it might seem like it. Again, I'm very honest about that. I can't fucking be arsed talking about it a lot of the time, but it's tough shit. It's my calling. But again, I just go through I just go through phases. It's um. I get funnily enough again one of the conversations I'm having by email we want to use is one of my when I use that word or when I hear others use that word dharma, it always reminds me of Wayne Dyer, who I absolutely adored. I mean, again, I cried like he was my grandpa or something when he died around, because him and Louise Hay died like, was it a year? I think it was a year apart, 2 years apart, almost to the same day. And yeah, honestly, I'm not even kidding. Me and my pal were going to the gym that day and I was fucking crying. She thought like it was like a close family member. But actually, at the time, that friend actually understood because I put her onto that book and she wasn't a big reader at all, and that really helped her. So there's something in that. There must be some sort. Again, everything I say is channeling, so as random as it might seem, I feel there's something there about. Oh, that's kind of deep in the fields, isn't it? And of course, it would be in a Scorpio moon. How interesting! But yeah, with what I was just saying there's reading between what I just said, there's something about either, there's two things. I can feel it's like you don't realise how many other people's lives you're touching, like with the difference that you make in the world. And that again honestly feels like something, it feels like your fingerprints don't fade from the lives you touch. And that's again, it's, I love that quote from, you'll be seeing it soon when it's September 11, but it's oh god, I'll not say the film because it spoils the fucking film. Anyway, if you've seen it, you'll know what I mean. But I'll not say the film because that just spoil it. But yeah, anyway, but I'll spoil it anyway when it's the day and I post it. So, because I always do. But yeah, it's like, you know, you just don't know how much of an impact. But maybe you do, because maybe people tell you. Like for instance, people that I'm conversing with over email now, you know, thank God you actually do tell me, or enough of you tell me. Um, to know that I'm making a difference in someone's life, put it that way. But the amazing thing is, because I do help twin flames, there is always I primarily attract I attract divine masculine energies that are females. That is the thing again that is unique about me. And again, if you've heard me channel about my own astrology, remember when I channel about myself, think about how this could apply to you, or they're just actually doing clever promotion again, because my guides are cleverer at that than me. It's like, trust me, I'm not a planner. Um, but it's that, you know, that I know my own chart that well, that I could look at yours and enlighten you with how it can help you follow your dharma or your calling. And the reason why I'm using the word dharma is because again, one of you just used that with me there, and like I said, it just, that word reminds me of Wayne Dyer, and it's just, yeah, it's one of these kind of things of, it feels very linked to this. Like this was that. Remember I channeled this. I think that literally was just on the last live, or one of the last lives, and it was about, you know, this is what Leo season's about. Like following your fun, or following the fun, or something I used to say a lot in my, I think it was in the Fuck It Let's Go challenge the first time a few years ago, 3 years ago, is it, or 4 years ago? That I kept saying I get paid to play as a good affirmation, like meaning, like, you know, when you do your divine talents, mind you, it can take a while, right? So, and again, I know that that's going to speak to a few of you because that's basically what I'm getting at. So I'm going to be general here, so it's keeping people anonymous again, because some people actually might want to, you know, share, and if not, it's fine because it's anonymous. But it's kind of like, um, and that, yeah, with the different sorts of emails I've had, like I said, over the past 4 weeks, really. But again, it's, I'm just noticing quite a few of you have let me know, either in public, or which you'll see for the people that say in public if you watch replays or if you're there when they say it, or people have let me know in emails how helpful it is, not only when I do the personal messages, the cards every Tuesday for whoever it is, you know, that wants a message, but also the people that don't speak for whatever reason, whether they're a bit, you know, afraid to, or just, yeah. And I suppose it would always come down to that, that it's like, well, I don't really feel comfortable about for whatever reason, whoever's watching, blah blah blah. But I get people saying to me like, God, that fucking message felt like it was for me when you read it for that person. And again, it is because I attract people that are in scarily similar situations. I mean, even like, because the one thing I was kind of, I was excited to come and share that all the downloads I got in my therapy session, you know, with my client today, because I normally say soul fam client, by the way, but I can't be our shit, it's too fucking long, right? So you know that you're soul family and you're my client and I love you. I'm just gonna say client. We're gonna try for me just say client. But yeah, the synchronicities when I'm helping someone doing that are fucking nuts, right? And again, this is what I'm making no secret about it. That is the part of my work that I want to be focusing on the most, because when I work with someone weekly, over those 10 sessions, it's fucking mind blowing how fast like the person accelerates through the usually difficulty they're going through, or whatever it is they're going through. And this woman I'm working with just now is no exception. Like it really has blown my mind, and it's and same with her. And it's like, you know, it was even like today, like again, because I'm keeping this general, I had to kind of just wait, you know, kind of reflect on, wait a minute, like, because this is what's nuts. It's like this literally, we're like not even halfway through. And this is what happens every, I'm not just, again, well, I am tooting my own horn a little bit here again, but remember, I channel the divine and your guides and my guides help with this. But it's just, yeah, like the monumental shift that this soul fan member is making on her journey, like I'm so proud of her, but also it's just, yeah, it blows my mind because it's what happens every single time. Because like I said, it would be great if I was freaking, having loads of fairy planets all at the one time, but that's not usually how it works. Um, it's usually I'm working quite intensely with either one person, maybe a couple. I've had other years where it's been a couple of people at the same time, but a lot of the time it can just work out that it's like one person. Um, but the point of me saying that is, yeah, like, so one of the weeks, and remember, we're only a few sessions in, one of the weeks right after we got off the call, um, my eyes were drawn to something on the session that she said was really significant, which was an animal, and I'd sent her that, and then also my name, I was drawn to her twin flame's name. Like as soon so, and what I've said to her is really weird. This is what happens to me all day, every day for like the past fucking 10 plus years. 13 to be exact, because that's when I started to piece together the twin flame drawing. But uh yeah, like Ashley Mauer's name fucking everywhere and synchronicities, but it's so weird. Like, see, I'm getting off stuttering now as well. And again, if you're new, that means something. When I'm stuttering, it means, do you know what's really weird? Usually I would always say, you're finding it hard to speak up or your twin flame is, but today I think that actually might be quite specific to somebody that's finding themselves literally stuttering. So that's new, but they're getting me to say that. But we can all do it with nerves, can't we? I know that I can. But basically, yeah, it's fucking crazy. Like with that particular woman, and there's a few other people that happen to it. It's like as soon as I get off the session, it's like their twin flames name that I see fucking everywhere. So that happened the other week there, and I was fucking mind blown because it was really, I mean, yeah, it was just really significant when I saw the name too. I was like, wow. Then, and actually, that's weird because that was like, I think that was the day after I'd said on a live, oh, I'm not seeing the synchronicities for me as much as what I usually do. And it was like I spoke too soon because then it was like I saw in a program, it was like the synchronicity was just hilarious. There was more than just a name, it was like other significant things. But um but yeah, it happened again today. That it was like literally the minute I got off the call, and there's been all these amazing mind blowing synchronicities because there always isn't. Listen again, if you've not had a session with me, sorry, when I burp, I'm clearing the energy, and it's. But I did have cucumber today, and we know what the cucumber does to me. For some reason, I've got a feeling that's really going to make Nathan laugh again. But you're welcome. Maybe you needed a laugh at Scorpio Moon. Listen, we all need a laugh at Scorpio Moon. It's a deep feels, right? I love Scorpio energy. It's my favourite sign, but fucking hell, I'm glad to see the back of the Scorpio Moon when it moves into Scratch Moon because it's more of this kind of energy. And that is my energy, like I love helping people when they're in the darkness, right? Because I can help them out of the darkness. But I also love that kind of Sag Moon. We can laugh, we can breathe, we can, enjoy the happier times or the abundance or whatever now. And that's what it feels like. It feels like the kind of people are turning a corner. Because again, it's I know I'm sort of ping ponging all over the place, but this is kind of, again, this is just how it's all coming in. As you honour and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. That feels so significant. Remember, I didn't even shuffle, it was just fucking sitting there and staring at me, and it's very relevant because that is an email I've had from someone. Is just basically generally talking about how difficult it's been at times and just basically a miracle coming about. And it did, and I just said that, but it did remind me of that video I done at Paddy's Day significantly. Yeah, honestly, I just, again, I'm not going into all the ins and out details of my life because, like I say all the time, with my Pluto placements, actually, my Scorpio placements, there's a lot of people that fucking will sit there clapping their hands when they know that I'm not doing too good, which isn't very nice considering all the hidden disabilities. But they're not so hidden with me because I tell you about them. But it isn't nice, is it? Because after what we've all went through the past 3 years, but even before that, I truly do believe everyone's got some sort of mental health issues at some point because we all get stressed. And just as I always say, in an ideal world, I believe everyone would benefit from counselling because everyone needs better boundaries. You just put it this as well. You're not even needing to shuffle it to life purpose. Basically, that's the gist of that person's email is when you're following your life purpose, it can be a bit of a wait, right, for things to click into place. And I'm the perfect example of that, guys, because again, my channel might be one person, that's right, one person away from 600. And remember, I feel very strongly about that number that's coming up, 7 people away. If it fucking lands on that, I'll be getting somebody to unsubscribe, or we're going to have to manifest like 10 people. We need to whiz past it. So, the thing is, I'm not kidding. I don't want to boycott, but I wouldn't even be surprised if it does weirdly land on that, or some dick subscribes to make whatever. We'll not manifest that. But what? Oh shit, that means something too. They're getting me to say that because I wrote it down on bits of paper because I knew I was going to forget stuff. But that was one of the themes that came up with my client today. Was like make sure it was specifically about visualize. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it because someone really, well, we all really need to hear it. Keep visualizing the highest. And I was about to say, like, this isn't just for divine feminines about their divine masculines, but it's more particularly for yous, because you're the energetic leader, remember. It's for divine masculines too that are listening to this to visualize. Basically, both visualize the highest version of your twin rather than something that you don't want. So, I suppose, for an example, the obvious one for divine feminines, and again, remember, I'm not going to kind of concern myself too much with the fact that I attract divine masculine females that don't typically tend to show up how a divine masculine male does. It's just a fact. And yeah, I know some of you are divine feminine males. Do you know what I mean? So just take it where it resonates. Because again, the way I channel general messages, if you're new, so this is just for new people, is I do tend to sort of give examples and channel the collective ones as if it is like the divine masculine's a guy and the divine feminine's a woman. Because that's my message. It makes sense to me. But yeah, if you are always sort of expecting your twin flame to be a player, or like kind of like that limiting belief that I channeled, which wasn't, again, I have to stress, it wasn't, although I'm sure if my one was being honest, it is something that well, maybe he did say that to someone at some point, but we never had conversations about that because there wasn't a need for it. But because I was just being far too chill and laid back, but I could now see that was absolutely people pleasing. And can I just say, I don't think I've ever said it like that before, but I did used to have folks say to me, "Are you alright with that?" And I'd be like, "Well, get to fuck." Even if I did say I wasn't alright with it, there's nothing I could do about it, and I like him that. I don't like. I still, you know what I mean. When he calls me, I want to see him. So it's that's where I was at that point. Um, I'm just letting you, those of you know, with not great boundaries, it is difficult. It's like, and remember at that point in my life, I didn't know who he was to me, but it is difficult when you like somebody but you're also like, hang on a minute, this, I like this person, but this is not how I want this to happen, and this is needs to stop. And you'll get to that point because I did get to that point in my life. But when it's your twin flame, it's yeah, the rules go out the window basically, right? So I got fuck. Please watch because that's going to mean something. And I looked at the oh, that's really interesting. I looked at the 1808 on the timer, and that would be the 18th of August. So that is going to be significant for some reason, and that is still within the it's like literally a couple of days after the new moon in Leo, so that's going to have some sort of significant, that new moon phase. Um, Wait a minute, I'm just double checking what I'm saying because, again, I like to do that anyway. But when the oh no, that's too complicated. I know that that is right anyway, right? That's within the new moon in that's within the new moon in Leo, because I think that'll be moon in Virgo by then. But anyway, so it was just because my eyes got drawn to that in the timer. It might even be someone's birthday out there, or it could just be, I don't know, but just look out for that. This really is going all over. But yeah, the result that came up today in the session about just making sure that you're not like visualizing. But basically, when I say visualizing, I mean you're just expecting that this person's never going to change, and we can all fall into that. So just catch yourself when you do it, because they'll keep showing up how you expect them to show up. So make sure that you're expecting. And when I don't like the word expecting because it's like you weirdly have to release expectations as well. But what I'm saying is, if you do keep thinking about the worst, you could manifest it. So just very, and I'm experiencing, I can't even tell you, a wee example today, right? When I was on that session, I said to my client, I'd given an example about something, and I'd also earlier, like, I'd said, um, like, I like these tea bags, right? They're the Earl Grey with the, I don't know, it's Earl Grey and it's like something like orange peel or something, right? And it's helping because when I do these fasts, like, you can't drink milk. And anyway, now I'm not really that keen on tea with milk because remember that's what my dad said would happen, and he was right. Although I can still drink it, but anyway, blah blah blah. Right, details, but it might matter to someone. So anyway, I'd said, like, to my dad, I was like, can you pick them up for me, right? But I was like, if not, I can get my food shop, right? And then like literally like within like not very long after I'd said it on the session, um, my sister texted and said, "Oh, I've got those tea bags for you," right? And I thought, what the fuck? So anyway, it did turn out that it wasn't that magical. Because first of all, I'm like, why the hell's my sister getting me tea bags for no reason? That's not really our vibe. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's kind of the sort of thing I would do for someone. I don't know so much about the other way, but anyway, I was hoping that it might have been that. But what it was, I thought more likely, the logical thing is my dad said. And anyway, so my dad had said. So it was really nice, though. It was nice that my sister had got them for me, right? But as you hear a lot, I help out with the kids a lot in that, and I'm fucking top auntie, just saying. But uh, at the time, I thought, oh my god, talk about fucking instant manifestation, right? Because it was like I'd asked my dad, and then there's my sister getting them for me, but it was because my dad had said anyway. And you could be like, Claire, get them your fucking self, but it's just because they're not always in every single shop. They're not in, like, they're not even always, when I do my other shop, they're not always there. Except I think they were the last. Anyway, again, those details don't matter, but they might to someone. The point is, we're in a time of instant manifestation, so that's a wee funny example, but just keep visualizing what you want to happen and pushing away the the naysayers, and that actually that's true. Like, you might literally need to not spend as much time around naysayers, like people that, like, oh, and that's interesting. So yeah, I don't experience a lot of that, but I can tell with the North Node conjunct my sun, and again, it's not even the exact degree. I ain't saying nothing yet. But hopefully it's going to be this, because it could be really great stuff, but it could be kind of things to, I think, to sort of trigger as well. Because but anyway, I'd had this sort of trigger moment where it's like, just when people sort of say stuff being out of care, out of concern, but it's like they're also given that energy of um something isn't going to happen. Do you know what I mean? So that could be in any area of life. And I've said this before about when it comes to things like money and that. Like, see, when I done those challenges, and any time I pulled in a significant amount of money, I did not tell hardly anyone, because unfortunately, people get used to seeing you in a certain way, and it's very important that if, oh, this again, this might literally be about business or money or something for you, but this could also be about love. This could be about your twin flame, or this could be anything. That, be very careful who you tell things to before it's actually happened, because even if they're not a secret hater or something, which, let's be honest, we've all got them fucking lurking somewhere too, and you might even have a few, and I'll be able to help you spot them if you don't know, or you're naive, or you're oblivious to it, or even if you got a suspicion, because again, that is what I'm good at helping people do as well. And usually, like I said, you won't even have a clue, and it'll just come up in the session, and then it'll be something that, like, oh, I've just realised as well, that is somebody's email that I just read there. So again, remember, guys, nobody that recognises this as aim, like, don't need to say, but it's somebody just said, if it wasn't for you noticing these red flags in my life, basically all this other stuff wouldn't have happened. And again, thank you so much for the people that actually let me know that, because like, I just replied to that person, like, it really does make me, like, so, I've not even got words, like, it makes my heart happy, and it makes me, yeah, it just makes me so happy to know that even when I'm going through my own personal hell, which, believe me, I've been going through too, um, yeah, it does amaze me that I can be there and empower other people, whether it be when I'm not feeling strong enough to work with people one to one, like I was for the majority of this year, to be honest, apart from a few folk that who I worked with. Um, the fact that I was still able to come on here and do the lives or do these videos, and just how it's helped people, or whether it be like, say, when I've kept consistent with the free cards on the Tuesday, it really does seem to have helped people over time, because it's not a coincidence that a few people where I was just noticing that actually, it was particularly when I gave a message to one of you. Again, some of you'll know because it was in public, but that message I gave about, like, if you're being guided to sort of work in the matrix, as we call it, or or you might already, or something like that, but holding on to what your divine talent is, but maybe doing that. And because what I've found is that, whether it's helping someone with this or it's happened to my life before as well, just kind of play the game a bit and take the moves towards doing that. And a lot of the time, because you've done that, something amazing happens anyway. Whereas you might not need to do it at all, or you might not need to do it for very long, and then something comes about in line with this. And that's what I feel like. I said, I've just noticed a pattern of what I channeled to one person on a live a few weeks ago, that person had said, like, thanks so much, like she'd felt her energy shift significantly, and then led to important conversations with people about things that people need to talk about. And this is what people say all the time, and again, it's because it's clearing energy, which is why I say to people, I just want to encourage, I don't know how long I'll do that, so while I'm doing it, while I'm offering free readings, whether it's one card or a few, because again, remember the last time I done it, that's probably actually why they guided me to not do it this week. It was actually more like I was sitting there doing people's readings for like fucking ages. So it was like basically full blown personal readings for free, which won't be every week, but it was just because I think it was Leo Moon or something, fuck knows. But it was the Leo Moon. But do you know what I'm saying? It's like it's really helping people and supporting people and shifting their energy. And when that energy shifted from being really stuck, it can lead to things like amazing opportunities, money coming in, miracles. And this is what I'm seeing. So again, that that helps me know that I'm doing something right, because that's my divine talent. Like I help people. I say it different all the time, but I help people get unstuck. Like I help you take messy action. I help you say fuck it, let's go in your life. They just drew me to the thing in my room that says plan fuck it, let's go. Whether that's plan fuck it, let's go with your divine talent, or plan fuck it, let's go following your calling. That's really the same thing, isn't it? Plan fuck it, let's go, I don't like it that I have to do this before this, but let's do it because it'll get me that. Because you think about it, that is the fucking let's go challenge. I teach people, I know you really want to focus on this. I know this is a big thing, but can you pick the boring thing first? Because what I've found in my own life is if you can get disciplined and determined at the boring thing first, or knowing that something is going to take a long time or years or decades, depending on what it is you're wanting to bring into your life, when you can stick persistent at something, it does pay off. You have moments like this as you honour and follow the guides of your heart. Prosperity is coming to you now. And so anyway, I can't tell you how significant just these two cards sitting here alone is with the emails that I've had over the past few weeks, and then one of them that I read today. So again, thank you. You know who you are, or yeah, you will be, but some of you will be able to identify who you are. But yeah, like I said, I'm just encouraging people that if you don't take advantage of that, when I'm doing those free messages and you're needing that help, why not? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm sure, like, or like I say, it's like, it's, yeah, but I mean, it's just that anyway, so blah, 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 but, and thank you again, those of you that either email me so that I can just say this generally anonymously, or if you actually say it in public, because it's helpful to let others know. And obviously when there's new people coming, they get to know what I do. And yeah, Leo season is about creativity, and it's just amazing that people are just finally getting to see a bit of this. Like, you're following your divine talent, and prosperity or opportunities are coming to you. And I'm just being reminded, that's actually what I said on that other video that I done, was that's what amazed me. I pulled the card that was like, and I pointed to the big coin and I said, it feels like either money's coming at someone, or has come at someone, or an opportunity. And that was exactly what that email was about, was an opportunity. Because remember, it's not always that money comes to you, it's that you could just be given an amazing opportunity. You could win things, you could, because that's a big one actually. Yeah, that's just basically, I think that's why it reminded me of that Paddy's Day, because along with that, it's reminded me of it too, is when your energy stuck, like when the spell work is cleared, which is what I do in all of these, but definitely that one I done. And actually, that's not a coincidence because I'm just, and again, I know the person knows this, but it's so that everyone else knows this. That one I done a few weeks ago, where I sat for like 5 hours and I channeled something at the end about clearing the witchcraft. And I just say, a few people have actually said they really felt something heavy lift from them, like they really felt it, and then things like this have come along. And I know that obviously that person let me know, like they felt something lift and then and not feel good, and now you know they're able. It's like they're able to see the wood for the trees because actually, when I think of this synchronicity, something amazing has already happened, but they weren't seeing it because of how bogged down they were. And then you see that's what I mean about I help people see crystal clearly. And that's what I started saying, and I started talking about someone else. I've had so many synchronicities where people that don't know me that well have said, wow, thanks, you've actually just given me the clarity that I needed, or you've just had they keep using words like clarity or clarification, or oh wow, I can really see clearly now. And I'm just laughing because, like I say, it's people, that I come across in everyday life, whether it's sort of offline or online, don't know what they don't know what it is that I do, or they haven't fully taken it on board. So it's just, again, that's really saying to me, like, that's going to become, I think, more and more obvious. I feel it's just more and more obvious to more people because the people that have been subscribed to here for a while, or even if you even if you've only been here a little while, you know, hopefully you see that. But there's importance in a name like crystal clear visions. I do help people see clearly what they weren't seeing before. And again, on your twin flame journey, like, and that includes who your true twin flame is and who your karmics are. Because again, I attract, because of me being able to do that, I attract some really complicated, difficult situations where somebody has believed somebody is a twin flame and they actually weren't. They were, yeah, you know what I mean. So, um, which is rough, but again, it's I can help people. I can help you anyway. Bloody, 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 blah. But there's just, like I said, it's just interesting that as I'm helping others, like again, my gift is helping you find yours. My gift is helping others find their gift, their divine talents. It's just interesting, isn't it? That the name, and write down, I believe that the names that we pick, clear means clear. It's bloody bloody blah. I could go on and on and on. So anyway, it was in this deck that I saw that card about with the big coin. So I'm just going to see if it comes out again. What else do we need to know? I just didn't feel like it was done earlier. Yeah, look, trust the guidance you're receiving. Archangel Uriel has blessed you with a brilliant epiphany. I'm also present to clear away your worries so you can trust your divine guidance. And that's what I feel they're just saying, like that is what has happened for the people that are really connected to me. It's like there were some really heavy dark energies, and again, it could be your own thoughts, but I feel there was actual like dark energies and entities from karmic people that a lot of you are surrounded by. Um and it's like something has shifted for whoever. Again, this might even be like, one of the people that said this might be, more speaking to them, but it'll be a few of you. Okay, I'm just being noticed another synchronicity. When I went to see my friend, she took me to the place where it was like it had, oh, what is it again? This just as amazes me. Like the people in my everyday life, right, will take me places. Like when my mum on my birthday took me somewhere, right, and all I can say is, being cryptic again, we went somewhere, and in this shop, the synchronicities were fucking mental to do my twin flame journey, right? And again, I'll explain more about what I mean by that another day, further down the line. But I was fucking mind blown, and it just made it all the more special. It was my birthday as well, but again, it wasn't me that wanted to go to this place. It was my mum, and then even she was like, "That is nuts." Um, then so just at the weekend there, my pals taking me to this place where it was where the, the Lizard King was given the fucking crown, and I thought, how fucking weird is that? And then so this download is one for people that people that are fully awake. So as one of you say all the time, I might be about to fucking, yes, purple pill, never mind red pill, like, so just, if you don't want to hear this bit, move on. But it's yeah, it was where the king was given the whatever, the jewels, the crown or whatever, right? And I was like, oh my god. And I didn't say this to my friend like this, right? Because that's yeah, it's just anyway. I didn't say it to her like that, but I was like, oh, interesting. So I was like, I feel I was guided there because it'll be to do with clearing the energy, you know what I mean, and the ley lines and that. Um, But what was interesting was it's got all the stuff about the Stone of Destiny, and that's what that's reminding me of with this. Then, right, so there was that. Then it was interesting because the next day, I was fucking knackered, right, and I just put the movie channel on, and it was about the fucking Sword in the Stone, and it was a more modern. It was quite good actually. Only caught the end of it, but basically, it didn't feel like it was about me. It felt like it was for again divine masculine males, um, females too actually. If you just take out the gender here, but because it was like like that whole thing with the Sword in the Stone is that it's like somebody realizing how powerful they are and how empowered in that, and that yeah you can, and so I'm sure I got more downloads about that film. I think maybe I wrote it in my phone actually because, but and I only caught it right before the end, but it was, um, oh god, if I didn't put it near the top, it's, yeah, there's, maybe I didn't, maybe I just thought I was going to remember it. Anyway, but, um, that was weird because, like I said, it was the Sword in the Stone thing. And then the next day, the fucking Sword in the Stone. I mean, I actually meant to text my friend to be like, "How weird is this?" But I never really bothered because she knows it happens all the time. She's with me. She's people that are in my close life see how crazy these synchronicities are, but like they see the connections, even if they're not fully awake and they don't totally get what it means. You can't not notice. It's like the songs too. Like even we were walking about this place and the songs that were coming on were corresponding with what I was saying. It's pretty hilarious, really. And that always happens. That's happened my whole life. I mean, that's just yeah. What was another thing though? There's something else about that. Oh yeah. Then the other dark synchronicity that I noticed was, so that's weird that I was there at that weekend, right? And then the film that I caught yesterday, that one I spoke about in the other. Like again, watch it because it's like I said, it is meant to be a fantasy film. So I don't know. I think maybe PG. Yeah, I'd call it fucking definitely PG. Don't let a kid watch that actually. Because I bet, yeah, it is like, oh, that's okay. It's aimed at kids. There we go. Yeah, but so's fucking Disney. And again, there's a lot of Disney films that I wouldn't be encouraging you to let your. Again, I know loads of them are amazing. The songs are amazing too. I was kind of going a bit off topic, but when I was washing my niece's hair, um, I was singing part of this world, and can I just say the older one was as I was washing them, she was staring at me like I was an angel, and I was like, I know him, I can sing that song because I've sang it since I was about 4 or 5. It was my favourite. But anyway, it was. The thing is, that's one of those songs that even if you're shit at singing it, it's really fun to sing it, and that's there you go. That's my divine talent too. That like seriously, if you're new around here, you'll see that I don't sing on every video, but um I do go through fate where I used to, yeah, again, why am I not? Anyway, it's because I just do it when I'm guided to, but I sing a lot when I'm channeling, and I'm not a singer, I just like to sing, and it's just when it comes in like that. And again, so it's funny because some of them I can't sing, some of them I could be alright at, but basically what I'm saying is it's like, um, just to do it because it's fun, you know what I mean? There's something in that, that's very Leo as well. And remember, Venus retrograde in Leo is about reevaluating what makes you happy. Um, don't just sing because you're great at it. Sing in the shower and you're shit, and it just makes you happy. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's an analogy there somewhere. Um, but yeah, oh yeah, that was it. So in that Black Adam film, there's a bit where it's like they're like I said they're fighting over a crown, but I couldn't help but notice the synchronicity of me going there, not realizing that's where that happened, and then the synchronicity in that film where the guy puts the crown on and then he dies and he goes to hell and that's what he wanted, and then he gets the power and he summons the devil and the deep. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's fucking dark shit, man. Like that's we're talking that's symbolic of the CERN stuff. Oh, I normally just say the letters, but yeah, that's symbolic of that and the kind of energies and things that are being summoned through these dark portals. Because again, when I channel about portals, yeah, there's amazing portals. Like we've got the Lions Gateway portal on the 8th of the 8th coming up there. I even think when I said there about the 18th of the 8th, I think with all the 8s, there's, maybe there's something significant about that. Well, yeah, it will be a portal because it's a new moon. So, yeah, in a way, a new moon and a full moon are portals of sorts. So, it's why you've got, well, not in a way, it is. But again, just as people do new moon and full moon celebrations or ceremonies or workshops, as I used to do, for the years that I've had my memberships, there's also people that practice black magic and stuff that can do, horrific sort of ceremonies and stuff. So, yeah, where there is dark, there's always light. And again, that's what that film was about too. Although that film's great because it is actually about channeling your anger in a healthy way too. Again, that's what that sacred rage term springs to mind. But yeah, it's just interesting, the whole sort of crown symbol. Right, so anyway, what else now? What else? I'm fucking spoke that long in here. I'm needing a pee again. That's why I had to go the last time. I'll just dance about until I feel it's, because it's just, I'm not doing another one tonight anyway. Oh yeah, also, right, so that was it. Wait a minute, I've just been trying to remember things from my memory and I wrote things on post-it notes. So I got new slippers today, right, and it arrived when I was on, of course, I'm only on my fucking client session for an hour, well, it's meant to be an hour, sometimes go over, but again, that could be because these interruptions, sometimes I do it, but remember, interruptions, interference, when I've got a client, it always happens, so I'm used to it, my clients are used to it, whether it's long-term ones or individual ones, and it was no different today. The buzzer went and it was my new slippers, right? And so think about it, when it's things to do with your feet, it's like going on a journey. And I was like, I love my old slippers. Like, they're fucking falling to bits. They've got holes in the bottom and everything, but I just really loved them. And they weren't a lot of money either. They were just new look, but I just really liked them. But it was time to let go. And it's not a coincidence, it's a Scorpio moon, and Scorpio moon is about the death card, and it's about releasing. And I know it's just slippers, right? But like I say, see through it, everything is symbology in life anyway, but definitely when I'm channeling, it's, you might, it's more than just about the item. Like, you might have connected certain memories to things and stuff. And, actually, yeah, I've just connected the dots. I got those, fuck's sake, they are old actually. I got those slippers a couple of years ago, and it was part of me just actually really treating myself where I needed to. Because I got, like I said, the slippers weren't a lot, but I'd got a whole load of stuff from, I think it was New Look or something, and I spent quite a bit, but it was like, but I was also in need of a lot of stuff that I got, and it was like, so maybe there's some sort of weird emotional connection there, I don't know, but anyway, I put the slippers in bin, right, because they're fucking trashed, and my new ones are pink, they're a bit more purpley. I think my niece is going to be eyeing these up, but I'm happy, because they're, like I say, these are a lot more expensive than the other ones I just put in the bin, so there's, oh my god, there's something about that too, isn't there? Going up in the world, guys. But it's just, there's something about that as well that it's kind of like, well, I don't know about you, but I've never fucking got my slippers off because I'm in the house most of the time. But do you know what I mean? It's like, they do wear out quite quickly. So it makes sense to invest a little bit. So there might be something here about not going for the cheap pair. Like, the jokes I could make. But yeah, it's like, yeah, don't go for the cheapness, or don't go for the kind of, yeah, there's something about that, like not falling for kind of, oh, that's the cheapest deal, I'll just get that, or which actually isn't necessarily for those slippers I'm talking about, because I did just like the look of them and they just happened to be a bargain. But it's something about investing here, investing in yourself, investing in something like, I don't know, there's going to be different things for different people, but remember, Venus retrograde is about money and stuff too, so it could have something literal. Again, I don't know, I'm just passing out the message. But also, basically, the reason I'm saying that, it did have significance, like, right, in, out with the old, in with the new. So that could be about literally in your life. I know what that was about for me. My client could see the synchronicity for her. And actually, I suppose I'm actually just meant to tell you, it wasn't about, like, it was about, like, it's out with the old way of how we done this and in with the new way when it comes to twin flames, right? That was what it was for my client. And then the label that came in the slippers, look, is Phoenix labels. And it's Scorpio moon, and Scorpio is about the Phoenix rising. And again, I'm always channeling messages like that because I'm Scorpio rising. But anyway, there's just a lot of synchronicity here. So maybe you're feeling a bit like you've been in the depths of hell, because I've been channeling about hell as well. Don't really like to make a habit of that. But, whether it be like literally feeling like you went through hell, but it does feel like people are turning a corner. And I know that's going to resonate with the bits and bobs that I've been saying at the start. What else do we need to know here? be a light to others, yeah. And I truly look, and there's a man, didn't I say I felt this is particularly going to speak to a lot of males, but it doesn't matter, you can be a divine masculine, feminine too. Be a light to others. You have a powerful message to share. Shine your light on the world so that others can learn from you. And I know that every single person that I'm helping through a difficult time, whether I'm helping you right now if you're a client, or you've been a client in the past, or hopefully you'll be a client in the future, it's this is what everybody's doing, like I'm helping others find their divine talent, or just encouraging them with it, because I swear the difficult time you're going through right now, or that you've went through, there's lessons to be learned from that, and you will be able to help other people. And yeah, it might be that is your divine talent, like it is mine, but it might just be that you meet somebody in the randomness of places, and they're going through something similar, and you pass on the wisdom of how you got through it. Do you know what I mean? It's not always what you think it's going to be. It doesn't mean to be that that's your calling. It could just be that somebody needs those words when you're able to be a light to someone else when someone was a light to you. So that's really lovely. And again, I can't help notice the synchronicity that is one of my divine talents, because Claire also means bright light. So you cannot fucking make this shit up. Also, that's very Leo. Venus retrograde in Leo, and Leo season. Be a light to others. This is such a Leo message. It is time to shine your light. Love it. Right, what's on these bits of notes here? Right, so I said about visualising your twin as their highest self. And again, you might be like, well, I don't know what their highest self is. I want them to work out what their highest self is to them. I just fucking visualise them happy and feeling strong and empowered. And you can also visualise them at you in a scenario with them, right? And it's just, you'll see in time if you're fucking visualizing and manifesting match up. And if it is your true twin flame, they will. Eventually it will align, because you're both manifesting each other. Oh yes, and something that was identified with my clients. Again, I keep it anonymous, so a lot of it was so helpful for everyone else. Was, I can't remember exactly what was identified, but it was when my client said that today, I was like, wait a minute, you need to say that again, because felt really, really important, and it really, really felt like others needed to hear this too. And I've not quoted it right, but it was something along these lines, right? And it is basically when I think it hit me, because it's like, it's so what divine feminine, divine masculine in alignment are meant to be. Just parts of it, but basically it was something along the lines of, you know, like the divine masculine energy needs to hear words, like, so almost, again, it was reminding me of when we were talking about it, was reminding me of, like, your love languages, and like attachment theory and stuff. And again, this is all stuff I channel about on and off whenever it comes up. I definitely talk about that in personal sessions, and yeah, it's weaved into every part of my work. So we can talk about that in a session if you don't already know what all that stuff is anyway. But yeah, these are things that are very helpful to know about, right? But the point is that, the divine masculine needing to hear words. It reminds you of words of affirmation. And I'd identified before, when it comes to this, that I just, through my clients and just through feeling into things, it does feel like a lot of divine masculines really do get that encouragement from words of affirmation. And again, divine masculine, regardless of gender, that does kind of fit. It's like needing encouragement. And then I wrote here, divine feminine needs to feel safe enough to share. So again, I feel it could actually fit either way, right? But it was just generally, so again, I can't fucking remember the way that my client said it was better, and I just can't fucking remember. But it was along these lines, and it is like, and it was just a lot today. But right, I need to get the tarot now. It was a lot today about having the themes that came up today was having the same vision, and that is what I helped my client do today. Is It's just so interesting to me when it's like, when I listen to when I'm listening to a twin flame specifically, and like they're explaining something, and the twins are actually like in communication with one another or with each other. It's so interesting how I'm like, you're explaining, like, basically you've got the same vision, but it's like you're both thinking you haven't got the same vision. And it always comes down to, like, oh, epiphany here, not, you need to communicate, and so that. But everybody on the twin flame journey, if you're at that stage, does need to hear this, because it was about clearing up miscommunication. So that's how I left. That's what's going on with the person I'm helping. But it's yeah, it was just definitely something about that. Is that the the divine feminine's going to stay a bit guarded until they feel safe enough to share. And but then also it's kind of that element of the divine masculine might not come forward if they've not had the words and the encouragement. Something, so it's different for different people's dynamics. And I think even with people that are more public, when it's like when you're sharing about who you're feeling, channel, I've identified that for about myself or others. It's not the same because that can still leave your twin flame confused, because it's like, well, hang on a minute, is this me and them, or is this like the randoms, or is this the collective? I do think I'll just laugh. I do think that could leave confusion still for divine masculines that are the counterparts, the ones that do it in public. But it's meant to be that way, isn't it? Because divine feminines are, very mysterious, and like I said, a lot connect with being the high priestess, which is all about that, being very psychic, but also being a mystery. And also, it's just let's face it, it's so that not everybody fucking knows your business when they know enough of it when you're doing this. And so, what would be the most sensible thing to do there for the ones that are near that bit? Have the private conversation where there's not a whole load of fuck nebbing in. Do you know what a whole load of fuck nebbing in? Sorry, I meant to say folk, but might be relevant. I don't know how that'd be relevant to your situation. That's hilarious. Um, but yeah, so it's just just in case that really hits you in the heart, like it did for me, you might be a divine masculine energy that really needs to hear the words of encouragement or reassurance that you're still wanted and you're still loved and you're still valued or something like that. And or you might be a divine feminine energy that needs to feel reassured and safe enough to share your vision. I don't know, something along these lines. That's so. What's this got? I said about the buzzer. Oh yeah, and she also noticed as well that every time the buzzer rings when that's happened during sessions, it's always right when she was about to say have some real big epiphany, which is fucking annoying. But again, that's what happens. It's because I'm helping people do this. I'm helping people become more empowered, and they don't want that to happen. The energy's out there. So anyway, right. So I've shared all the bits on the bit of paper. Right, so what are we doing now then? Right, okay, so with whoever's resonating with, again, so it can be, you can resonate with literally different bits of bobs of all of this, right? And I was getting ideas as I was walking by the beach. I walked loads today and I hadn't done that for a while. Well, I did. I think I done it last week, but me and my client were saying that today. We only spoke last week, and it felt like I hadn't spoke to her for like 2 weeks or something. And she felt like she'd went through like all the shit she'd went through. She felt like, I think she said she felt like she's went through it for a year. So it's really weird timeline shifts and that going on. But yeah, let's just see. So where's the collective of divine feminines, or whoever this was speaking to today? Where's the divine feminine at? And that'll help you know if this is you. Right, breakthrough, processing karmic debris. So again, it feels like there's some kind of breakthrough coming here. And again, I do feel that links to that card that's under there about prosperity is coming to you now, and it's time up because the alarm just went off. It's like, it's time now. It's time for you to receive the prosperity. It's time for you to receive something, some kind of breakthrough. It's like, you're going through expansive growth here on your ascension. So whoever that resonates with. And for the divine masculine counterpart, we've got, oh my god, dark night of soul, surrender. But you see, it's in reverse, right? So I'm taking this again. This is crazy. So I was kind of wondering there, was like, why am I referring back to the session so much? Because I haven't done that after every other session, but it felt really important today. And again, yeah, my clients understand that it's that it's when it's jet, because again, it not only helps everyone else, it can sometimes still help them, like continue to help when they watch this, but like, because that person actually says that to me. But this came up in the session, that it was like, basically, and again, this is, it feels like they keep getting me to do this now and again, but what I basically channeled was like, because I kept going to say it, and then I kept talking about someone else, or she would talk about something else, and I was like, right, I just need to say this because I keep trying to say it, and I keep forgetting, and they're trying, it's like energies are trying to get me to not say this, and what it was go easy on him because he's still in a dark night of soul, but he's trying to hide it from you, and again, it was like he's going to come talking to you like he's feeling really good or everything's really great, and he's going through a lot, but and again, I mean, that's not a secret, this is the twin flame journey. The divine feminine goes through hell, the divine masculine goes through hell, and a lot of what's happened I was going to say last year, but the last, this year, a lot of twin flames, it's like you've both been going through fucking hell at the same time. Like I said, even if you've went through your dark night of soul a long time ago, you can go through many dark nights of soul. You definitely can. I just said that so fast there. I think I missed our word. You can, but again, that's how fast your divine masculine is going through the dark night of soul. So it was basically, I had to say something along the lines to my client to basically remind her, it's like they're fast tracking their ascension and it's fucking rough. And um, yeah, it's like, and look, there's a dove on that too. It's like you're bringing this peace. So if you are actually sending them love, praying for them, sending them healing, it is helping them out of dark space. And when the time is right, they will tell you that themselves. But again, for those of you that it's like you're like, I don't fucking think so. Yeah, because that would be when your divine masculine is still coming from ego and their ego's still dying. That is what the dark night of the soul is. The ego death. It's the same thing. So you have to take the higher ground. I mean, you still have boundaries, but that's just, again, that's blown my mind because that's on the divine masculine side. But it's just the same message I gave to my client is that, just remember that however he's seeming, it's like he's going through more than what he's letting on. Right, okay, and it's in reversal. So again, like I said, that can mean different things. Someone's still in it, really going through it, or they've come out of it and they're exhausted. Oh my god, fucking right. This is mental. This is absolutely. Look what's on the bottom. Fucking hell. False. And look, that's why I said it. That's obviously why I said that. That's why I said it about that's what I'm good at doing, seeing clearly. Helping people see clearly, and also particularly in a Scorpio moon, which it is right now. So regardless of whenever this makes sense to someone, because I helped this particular person identify that for them a few years ago, but yeah, and so this is with our true twin flame, but basically, look, false twin flame. Not everyone likes that word, but I don't mind it because it does describe what happens. Like you think somebody's your soulmate. A lot of people, if you're older like me, or if it was more recent and you're younger or whatever, and you come across the twin flame term, you might have thought someone was your twin flame before you find out who your actual twin flame is. And yeah, that's exactly what I'd said. I actually even referred back, and I don't do that with that client all the time. I actually referred back to like, remember when you were confused about that when I first met you? That's what he's, that in that situation. It's like there's a bit of a thing like that. It's like basically he's mirroring her. Do you know what I mean? That's fucking blown my mind. But again, I pulled it in reverse and tends change. It's like this person. So again, this does feel like it's because that makes sense. It's tying into what I help my client with, but it won't just be her, it'll be whoever this makes sense to. This person is in the middle of releasing a really intense karmic soulmate or like say false twin flame, and or in that client's case, it's like that they're not in the person isn't physically in their life, but the hold on them is still a bit there, and that's what I'm supporting that twin flame union with, is empowering my client to have boundaries and stay strong and all of this kind of stuff, like all the rest of it, but still recognizing that that's not easy. Yeah, anyway, wow, that's fucking mental. See, I mean, so listen, be easy because a lot of these divine masters are going through, and if it's not that they're recognizing or releasing a karmic soulmate, it's or like again, even worse if they actually did think someone was a twin flame and then they realise, holy fucking shit, it isn't. It could be things to do like the karmic people could be like other people in their lives that it's difficult to let go of. And then mission and motion, honour your agreement, and there's the Lionsgate portal 8-8. That's like basically forgot the feminine's cards now. Yeah, the feminine's having a breakthrough, and you know, accelerate. What was it? Expansive motion or something like that? Expansive growth. Yeah, having a breakthrough and growing, ascending, and it's pulling pulling that divine masculine out of the dark night of soul. And it's the missions in motion, and you're honouring your agreement, your soul contract, and there's going to be something significant about the 8 Lionsgate portal. And I've just realised that was the other thing they were saying on the beach, is I think I'm going to, again, I always plan things off the cuff anyway, but I haven't done a public, I would either do a webinar or I just do it, you know, I'll do it on Zoom, and depends how many people go for it. But yeah, I'm feeling like, because of the amount of vision board cards that came up when I done one of the mini taster Tuesdays, I think it was the last one or the one before, I was really getting guided that I was going to do a new moon workshop. So we've got the full moon coming on the 1st, but I'm not going to do it then. I'm going to do it, I feel, for around the new moon. So I'll let you know when that is, but I feel it's probably going to be somewhere along just before. So I got drawn to the 18th. I think it could be, yeah, I mean, I'm going to check the date of that, but it'll be a couple of days maybe before that. And I feel I might even do one for the Lionsgate portal. So again, just look out, because that's soon, the 8th. And I think I'll do one for the new moon too. I'll at least do one, but these are what I'm kind of feeling. So if you feel like you're going to want to do that, then just keep an eye out in the community tab. Wow, sorry, that has absolutely blown my fucking mind. That I think that did happen a few weeks ago with that first session with that client, if I'm remembering right. It was like it continued on from the session, but it's because it's going to help everyone else and her as well. But that's literally what I'd said to her, was just, give them a break, because it was really difficult for you when you went through that. Like, I wasn't giving it, you know, I'm close with all my, I wasn't saying it like giving her a hard time. It was just, you know, she was, oh yeah, right enough, actually. Because that's what's weird. Like, although all these are twin flames, the thing I realised on the session is sometimes I can even mistakenly assume that you know that, but a lot of you don't notice it, because it's not like, that's not your divine talent. Like, you've got a divine talent, everyone has, and if you say you haven't, you've just not spotted it, and I'll be able to spot it probably as soon as I fucking listen to you for a bit. But if I haven't spotted it already, if you chat or whatever, but yeah, it's like, I'll assume that like you can see something, and you really can't, because again, until I pointed that out to that client, and she knows, like, we always say this, like, that's happened loads of times to her, that she just cannot see something until I point it out. But it's because she's in the anyway. But that client, that's complicated to describe, because she is in the divine masculine energy, is how she appeared in my life at first, like everyone. But she's definitely someone of what I say about, I'm helping her shift into divine feminine, because some weeks when we talk, she's totally in my energy, but then at least some point during the session, it feels like, now it feels like you're in the other energy, and it's not like that with most people. Most people, it's just like the whole time I'm in the session, it feels like you're in the opposite polarity, whereas that's not the case with this particular thing. Anyway, so it's so complicated when I'm explaining it, but if you've done a session with me, you just totally get it. So I don't really bother about it. If you don't understand it, you're probably not meant to do a session with me. But I know it is kind of like, what the fuck are you talking about if you'd never come across it, right? I kind of feel guided to say, go and just that. So that's very specific. Give me another twin flame pair that isn't the same one that I just, or it could be the same pair, but just give me another one. I'm going to ask for another pair. So divine feminine is, oh my god, they're like, no, is this one we want to stick you with? Fucking hell. A divine feminine. Now this is, oh my god, that's really fucking blowing my mind now. Yeah, because look, now it's on the other side. Do you know what I mean? It was on the divine masculine side, now it's on, so now, we'll just stick with it. Oh shit, right, now they've just flashed up something that somebody else communicated with me not long ago about a story about that they'd thought someone was their twin flame for a long time, and then they recognised they weren't. Right, okay, so I'll just stick with this. So it might be the same, it might still resonate, but we'll just, so like, divine feminine, someone, so again, remember, this could be in the past, this could be like fucking years ago, could be recent, it might not have happened yet, so, but right, a divine feminine. And what else? Because I felt like another card wanted to come out with that. And clearing core wound soulmate. Yeah, so basically, again, another rough one, but they always give the rough ones on a Scorpio moon, because that's when I go psychic detective shaman, which I am all the time, but more in Scorpio moons. Or Pisces moons, but I've never really got a lot of energy in them. But basically, right, the whole point is, if this is you, or if this is your divine feminine, they have, yeah, basically felt someone was a twin flame or a soulmate, whatever you were calling them, but no, you were just clearing core wounds with this person. So again, like I'd like to, like I said recently, and I'm saying again, although it's not nice to think of your twin flame other people and all that, it's just the karma that we all need to play out with different people. So your karma that you might needed to play out with different people wasn't even necessarily romantic. Like a lot of, like again in my life, a lot of the karmic clearing core wounds actually came with friendships for me. It's not really mostly been. I mean, again, the obvious one for mine was the false twin flame, like right at the start. But again, that was like literally, like we're talking literally 20 years ago. But again, it was less than 20 years ago because it went on too long. Because that is what happens with trauma bonds. They're hard to let go of. Do you know what I mean? So this is what. Unless you come across somebody that is their divine talent to help you let go of this, which is what that person's email was about. Was thank you so much for helping me notice the red flags. It's important, like for I know that everybody knows this, but it's like I literally help save people's fucking lives, and I don't think a lot of people actually realise that because I can't go into major detail, but it's true. And why am I picking up this? This has got a card in it that speaks about narcissists. See if that comes out. I'm gonna fucking scream or something. Mirror. Self-reflection, reflecting each other, being honest with self, wisdom, clarity, transformation, shadow work. Again, what do we do in Scorpio Moon? That's right, we do the shadow work. We do the shadow work all the time, but definitely in a Scorpio Moon, I really do feel, right, and when I say really do feel, the message is coming in stronger. Again, that's fucking happening all of this bloody video, but this is about, right, a divine feminine is reflecting, and think about it, this actually does fit with what I just said about Ascension, doing some self-reflection about when they identified someone was a false twin flame. Actually, because that's, see again, because it is anonymous, I can say this, but with this actual person, because this has happened with a few people, see, I always have to actually remind myself of this, because that is quite amazing. With that particular person, they identified someone was a false twin flame, and then after some of the work we'd done together, met her true twin flame. And then also I've just remembered too that even today when we were talking, yeah, she got a text like right as I was doing the clearing. And then again when I was doing something else, and we just laugh because again, I'm used to it, she's used to it. But again, you even see it sometimes happens in the lives where somebody's like, it happens to Nathan all the time that has, but again, I don't know who. Well, actually, he even said it like it was kind of, but yeah, that happens. That's not maybe it's not a good example if you do talk to your twin all the time anyway. But it's happened with people that don't speak to their twin all the time. It has. I can't say it happens to everyone, but it does happen fairly often with me. Because I'm here to bring twins together. But yeah, a divine feminine is doing a lot of shadow work, and basically your twin is mirroring you. So let's see what the twin gets for this one. Oh yeah, and it's true love. So, but there's wounded. So I know I'm saying divine feminine, but sometimes they give me conundrums like this. This could actually be a divine masculine in his feels, because divine masculines have got feminine energy too, but anyway, just to confuse matters. But it's like, although this person is wounded and clearing the core wounds from this relationship, intense emotional pain, fear, depression, emotionally unavailable, scared, defensive, triggered, and healing, because they've went through all this shit, or you have, they know who you are to them. Lock and key, perfect fit, open each other's hearts, union, divine love, soulmates, twin flames, love and bond, destined relationship. So let's just, before that, look, missed opportunity. And so I feel someone might be feeling like it's a missed opportunity. Regret, taken for granted, didn't act, kicking themselves, couldn't see clearly, harsh lessons. Sorry, there's something about, this is hilarious with this whole couldn't see clearly thing. I really do feel it's the Venus retrograde in Leo. Although, like I say, if you're getting together with love stuff in that, and twin flames, again, I'm going to say love. See, I noticed I didn't say twin flames. Love stuff, absolutely have your fucking wits about you and discernment, because even if you're like, oh, I'm just going to fool around with my soulmate right now, you don't know who the fucking hell they've been sent in by. Like, they could have literally been sent in by demons, do you know what I mean? And they're going to look hot, they're not going to look ugly. Do you know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever sex you are. So just be alert to that. But there's also good things about the Venus retrograde. You know what I mean? That some of your twins or you are going to basically be like, holy fuck, you're going to be like that wee guy that's like, I've just missed the opportunity of a lifetime. Like, what if I've absolutely fucked this up? And this is what I feel many people are going through in this dark night. So I meant to say that. I meant to say, fuck, I meant to say Scorpio moon, and I said this dark night of the soul. Right, and then look, choose me, not the other guy. Let's shuffle these because I got drawn to them. Right, what else do you need to know about that? And then we'll do the divine masculine. But like I said, I think there's something there about it felt more... Anyway, you can make up your mind. What do we need to do to go with that? Oh my god, it's that one, right? Well, you could read it. Well, I want to make love to you over and over again. Okay, so that is... There's clearly some deep sexual feelings going on there, but that is what Scorpio moon does to you. But all jokes aside, although I get awkward, at least I'm not on the camera, it's yeah, it's like sacred sex sort of energy, and it is kind of longing, yearning. It's pretty, well, it's right up my street actually. But do you know what I'm saying? It's more like, what I'm meaning is it's like, it's intense. But if you're in the intense, being away from somebody feeling like that, that's not, well, I'm not into that. Do you know what I mean? It's just fucking shit, isn't it? But it's, you're only feeling that much pain because of how much you want to be with someone. So, and I've been hurt more times than I can count. And it's interesting I said it like that because Scorpio is brutal pain. So that's basically what I was channeling. And I look at your social media every day. This is all Scorpio energy. Like, this is, again, Scorpio's about obsession. And again, I get that because my obsession is astrology. I mean, I obviously don't need to point that one out, but... And like I said, it might seem my obsession's twin flames. It really fucking isn't, right? I haven't got a fucking choice with that. It's my life. But yeah, your twin flames saying that they keep an eye on you and they've been hurt more times than they can count, and I'm so very sorry. Please find it in your heart to forgive me. So whoever that's, fucking hell, that really actually fits in my client session today. That's mental. Maybe not all of it, but most of it, right? So this is going to blow her mind. The divine masculine energy to go with the divine feminine, but just bear in mind it could be the other way about, because I just, they're doing that weird thing. It's healing abandonment wounds, time to forgive. Again, this could be forgiving the twin, forgiving themselves. It's usually always a bit of both, which is why Ho'oponopono, you know, repeating I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, is very helpful. I've got that in one of my shamanic journeys, the one where I'm wearing the green vest. I think there's only one like that. And it's all, oh yes, and then there's the inner child one where I'm wearing the red jumper. That's how I remember the difference between them. Something about 10 again, something's coming full circle. 10 is the end and the beginning, because it's not quite the end, not quite the beginning. Also could be literally something about the 10th of the 10th. Practice self-love, nurturing your inner child. So again, but I'm just noticing this could be about this twin, the divine masculine, forgiving a feminine for not recognising who they... Oh my god, I've just realised that could even be... Yeah, that is what it is. So again, it'll fit for different people, but it's like, you know, forgiving a feminine for not seeing who they were before. So it's, yeah, just whatever resonates for you, because again, I've helped people in both scenarios. And like I say, although it's not exactly the same for me, I couldn't see who my true twin flame was until the wounds had cleared from who I was attached to before, even with my twin flame in my life, which is why I have got a fucking issue. Sorry, I'm swearing with that. Again, I don't normally say sorry for swearing, but I'm saying it because I feel passionate about it. Is I've got a fucking issue with people that are like, as soon as you meet your twin flame, you're activated and all your gifts come online, and it's, I don't fucking think so, because if that was the case, me and my twin flame would have been cutting about as fucking teenagers, like fucking X-Men. Do you know what I mean? X-Men women. But do you know what I'm saying? It's like, and although I've been psychic my whole life, and actually, well, so is he, but it's, I really can't speak for him, right? I don't know, but yeah, anyway, do you know what I mean? It's a little bit, yeah, it's not quite how some people describe it, and I think that's how some people can forget that, just because they might have experienced that way, it's unique to them, which is why I always say, this is what happened to me, tell me your story, do you know what I mean? So you can take from that what you will, but, right, anyway. And can I just say as well, something, I don't mention this very often, but it's because the moon's in Scorpio, and like you said, it is about sex. there's something really significant about that, because it's like, when you actually do have that shag union, as Michelle calls it, the sacred union, when you get down and dirty with it, however you want to call whatever you do, that is an activation of sorts, right? And I kind of feel it just depends what you see that as, but it's like you're linked. But this is why, never mind just twin flames. This is why I say, and I said it in another video, be careful who you sleep with, because literally even just fall asleep beside actually. But but again, I don't know about you, but sometimes you wish you could fucking go back and talk to your past self about a couple of one night stands or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But it's you can't. I was about to say you can't change the past, but remember, I actually do help people do that all the fucking time, and including the client that I had today that right a few sessions ago. Yeah, I described, actually that's what I channeled about. Yeah, 4 weeks ago at the time was, so you can't change the past, is what a lot of people say, but actually we did go back and change the way something happened in the past, which changed the brain chemistry and changed her attitude towards things, which is therefore manifesting a higher timeline. So that's the best way to describe it. So yeah, be careful what you believe, because you actually can change the past. It just depends on your perception about it. So yeah, if you need help with that, that's what I help people do in sessions. And like I said, it's just cool to be able to share that about, yeah, it's and like I said, I'm sharing anonymously bits and bobs of what feels like it's going to fit with the collective. But I even said that to that. I say this to all my therapy clients I have at some point, that at some point it would always be my vision to actually have a chat with them, um, like I've done with people in the past, and have them share their own story about however much detail they want to go into. Because not everybody, and again, sometimes people don't even talk about the twin flame journey and talk about their work in that. But this particular client, it would be cool in the future if she was up for that, because there's a lot about the actual journey. But yeah, but anyway, blah blah. We can cross that bridge when they come to it. So, but for now, we'll just thank you, client, for just basically the bits and bobs of me helping you helping other people. Right, so thank you all of you, because that's all of you, because I've shared bits and bobs about what people emailed me over the weeks as well. Basically the synchronicities within your lives and my own life and people I help, you just wouldn't believe. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Right, where is this divine feminine at in the conscious and the subconscious on the bottom? Right. Oh, fuck. That's my single card. Single, ready to mingle. Nah, I'm joking. It is what came to me though. Basically, it's like, oh yeah, no, that is for someone. Yes, your intuition is correct. Take action accordingly. But basically, and that's funny. That's from that deck. Self forgiveness. Let go of old guilt. Remember your God's perfect child. Contemplation time. Spend time alone. Meditate upon what you truly desire. That's fitting with what I said about the highest timeline. What was I going to say? Yeah, it's like something that's like independent. You've almost got your Ten of Pentacles, which could be like, work's going really well, you're feeling abundant, feeling amazing, or like the Ten of Pentacles could be, yeah, work's going amazing, and um, could be about coming into a union, because yeah, it's like just, yeah, everything coming together really. Ten of Pentacles, and then we'll see if the Ten of Cups makes sense. But yeah, I really do feel it's like this divine feminine energy. So again, you never know. Most divine feminines that connect with me, it's you're the one that's single and not in a connection anyway. But just in case you're divine masculine watching this and you're wondering, this one I'm picking up on is single, feeling good, and going through some sort of ending in their life. And on the bottom, it's the Page of Cups, yeah. And so again, it's interesting because that can be about like intuitive, like what I'm getting from this is like intuitive messages coming in, downloads. But again, on this particular card, I always see it as like, look, it's like daydreaming, but it's like, oh god, pigs are gonna fly when this happens. And what I'm getting from that, it also, it was in reverse. I kind of feel like it's like, I feel like this feminine energy is kind of feeling like, God, is this ever going to happen? Like, I feel like things are going better than they have for a long time. Um, and it's like, I get from her, it's like, she's like, look, I'm single, ready to mingle, but I want to be doing that with I want to be having fun. Like, basically, I'm channeling this divine feminine. My Ten of Pentacles happens when the divine masculine turns up. Like, that's what's missing. That's what I'm getting from this card. And it's like, but the message isn't coming. I'm not even getting the guidance about whenever that's good. The apology isn't coming. Whatever it is, there's something. That's what I'm getting from that. And now we'll shuffle the same deck. And I had originally intended it to be that the decks were just, that's all the right cards in this deck. This is all the right, but it somehow got mixed up, which is always meant to be. And again, isn't that like the Twin Flame Journey? That there's, that the cards are all just mixed up, and I'm just going to leave them like that because I kind of like it. So, kind of like life. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, it might be, they might show up anyway. We'll just see. Right. So what have we got for divine masculine to go with this divine feminine collective? Oh my god, I fucking knew it. That's crazy. That's fucking mental. 7-8 cards in the tarot. And when I'd done this earlier for my client, right, I channeled that he is in a dark night of soul. Or basically, he's in a dark place and he's trying to hide it from you because they're in contact, talking and all of that. And that is the card I pulled out. And I remember this is about feeling out in the cold, but it can literally be feeling like without, like, financially too. It could be your finances are really bad or not as good as you want them to be. And even this, for divine masculine energies, that's always worse than divine feminine, because by a lot of people's standards, your skin could be somebody's like I've said this before, like some people feel like when they're in their overdraft, oh my god, money's terrible. But I know people that fucking live in their overdraft, you know what I mean? Me being one of them. But it's again, I've got a bit better at that recently. But you know what I'm saying? It really is that's again, it's perception. But so whether it's literal about money or things to do with job changes or feeling emotionally out in the cold from your life, look at this. Look at the fucking difference. Again, I'm just being a draw. This could actually be same-sex couples too, but doesn't matter about the gender. It's like divine feminine energy is feeling, because again, remember we've got some divine masculine males as well, but it's like divine feminine is feeling, something's feeling pretty good here. And that is actually in line with, yes, who I was working with today. And although, like I said, she switches in and out, but it was like that and that. Yeah, so when it was like I was feeling she was in this energy, he's in that. That's what came up for her twin. What's on the bottom? I think it was the Knight of Wands or something. Yeah, Knight of Wands. And so in this particular Knight of Wands, again, because it's like, it's, yeah, it's like, it's basically, it's like this person is going to come out of that and be in this passionate energy, creative, passionate energy, something happened in their life to fire them up. Or, and again, the horse reminds me of freedom, but it could also be like, so it could just be something's bringing a bit of fun and playful, hopefully, with Leo season to their life. It's got nothing to do with you. Or them coming in like that to you is rising up to the surface. Very like the message I gave her earlier. Yeah, and so divine feminine, you could be feeling a bit out of balance because there's a temperance in reverse, and that's like balancing the sun and the moon. Again, look out for that new moon. Or actually, look out for the full moon there too. What else about divine masculine? The truth, yeah. That's so funny actually, because when I was doing her session, I kept pulling out the 5 pentacles, and then saying, yeah, that's the truth. So basically, what I said there about so sorry, divine masculine. I'm letting out your secrets if this is you, but it's like, do you know, it's kind of like that. I suppose what I'm saying is that's what my purpose is. That is another of my divine talents, is to be like, look, cut the bullshit. Do you know what I mean? So it does make sense that I would be the person that kind of says that for everyone. But again, think about it. If I'm the person that helps people say, like I say, literally sometimes I actually have to say, cut the bullshit, but I don't usually have to say it like that. But you know what I mean? It's kind of like, what it was like for you, and I have to sometimes remind them that it's like, basically it just depends who I'm working with, right? But it's about basically give yourself a pat on the back for how far you've come, but also remember how difficult it was for you, and it's like your twin's going through that now, so give them some grace and compassion and all that kind of stuff. But it does make sense to me that if I'm the person that has to do that, it's like it would be very challenging for me and my twin to overcome some of the things that I'm talking about, is basically what I'm saying. It's like Why have they made me say that? I know why they've made me say it, because they always make me go a bit more vulnerable in Scorpio. I'm going to just put these back now, and let's just go in with that, because it's like, maybe the people in my wave need some help, you know what I mean? Right, okay. Wait, so let's just say me, my wave, but it'll be me and my twin too. So where am I at then? And then I can argue back if I don't feel the message. I never do that though, because I always know it's right, because it's not me, I'm channeling the message. So where am I at today then? Enlighten me. Conscious mind, subconscious mind, where am I at? Oh, okay, and okay, yep. Yep. Oh, that's interesting what I said about the Ten of Pentacles. Right, okay, so just intuitively, before we pull the Divine Masculines and that influences me, forget the gender here, right? This is about somebody that has so much overwhelming love for their Queen of Cups, but again, forget the genders. Somebody that has so much overwhelming love for someone that they don't even know how to put it into words, and therefore they just might not tell the person. And this is such it's interesting that I'm channeling my own thing, but again, this is so fucking annoying because I really didn't want to do this, but I'm just fucking going back. See, I'm going with the flow, I just trust. Although it might, like, although I do that, right? I do that all the time, and I share lots about my own journey. It's the irony is, it's like it isn't the same as like saying it to that person one to one when you're on your own. It just isn't the same, and so for me, that's what it means for me. Is because it's in reverse. It's like, yeah, not being given the opportunity to do that. So it's like basically because I do even upright. It's like although I'm the feminine, that I can totally feel into that energy, because it's like, well, I've just had these conscious, and remember that's conscious mind. I've consciously had these feelings for mine for so long, you know, for like 13 years. I've fucking made everybody sick of hearing about this guy, to the point where, yeah, it's like, yeah, that just basically nails it. And then I made myself sick because I just don't even, yeah, I don't talk about him to, I wouldn't say anyone, but not many people. So, well, apart from all of you people here, nearly 600 people in here, that's hilarious. But I feel in reverse, it's like, that's that what I said about what my client said. It's like not feeling safe, not feeling safe to do that. That's what I'm getting from that. What was in the bottom again? Yeah, and it's kind of like, and then therefore, like, not happy. Like, because again, like I always say, Ten of Pentacles is feeling financially secure, feeling safe, having the money, having the, you know, the happy family, all that kind of shit. And you can see that they're like looking at each other like, yeah, we're twin flames, you know, it's all, we've got the dog, we've got everything. But it's like, it's in reverse. So it's like, yeah, not happy. And even if you did get your Nine of Pentacles and even something spills you over into Ten of Pentacles, well, yeah, I suppose because I do my own cards, my own wave, it's like, even if a whole load of fucking money comes to me, it's not going to make me happy because I won't have him. Oh, that's romantic. Why are you making me be that dramatic? I'm not the fucking masculine. Maybe I'm in the masculine today. Again, that is quite funny because it's like, I keep saying that happens. Like, I have days where it's like, it really feels like that, stronger than ever. Because your masculine's probably in their feminine. Right, so that's what I get from that. Of course, the fucking neighbour's going in the door when I'm saying this. Right, so where's the masculine of this feminine, or in that wave that's going to resonate? And I can just channel the energy. Put on camera. So where are they? Oh, wait a minute, it was that way though. Oh god, that one comes out all the, okay, we'll take them. Oh my god. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, it's a bit awkward when I've said it's mine, but anyway. Oh yeah, it is mine, because that's the number I associate with him. How interesting. Right, so basically this comes out all the time. 10 of wands, 10 of burdens, right? In reverse, like I said, it can be that you're putting it behind you, and this, but with this combination, and that matters that all three came out, burdened by not being in union. And this can either be, it's a big secret, and how interesting, his number's on the bottom and my number's on the top, because I'm the 18th. He's the 21st of the month, I'm the 18th. Crazy. Oh yeah, and then look, 18/4. And that's my birthday, 18th of April. See, there's so many connections here. And also, I am this card in the tarot. My birthday numbers add up to the Four of Wands, a union card. And that's why I bring in the twin flame unions. I support them. There you go. But yeah, it's like the divine masculine are feeling so burdened they can't fucking take this anymore. About there being no union. This can also be, by the way, like another union of sort is breaking down. Or healing that from the past, even if it's not present. But yeah, that's a secret. And again, that's even a secret. Some, the fucking synchronicity here. But it's, yeah, there's secrets being revealed. And someone's burdened. And okay, anyway, my stomach's rumbling away there too. And on the bottom, yeah. But then look, when I flip it over that way, that's interesting. But something's completing. It's the end of a cycle. A lesson being learned. Look, there's the King of Cups on the bottom there. The same. How interesting is that? Shit. So that and that. This is. See, this always happens when I say it's mine. You get real mirroring energy. So it's a few cards back, but it's like a lesson is completing. Someone's coming out hermit mode, and they feel exactly the same as their twin. Now, me and mine aren't two blokes for obvious reasons, right? But we feel the exact same. That's what I take from that. But the devil's been telling him that's not the case. Because when he works out that, well, actually, I can't even fucking, listen, this is just waiting at other people's because he fucking knows. So that's not applying to me. It's like they can make their plans based on that. Oh, tower moments. I think that's when the divine masculine realises that this is real. The tower moments hit. And they're like, oh, that's too much like hard work, fuck that. But then they're like, no, actually, I do want her, so I'm going to work. I'm going to work for it. Because I'm going to be unhappy if I don't. Yeah, not ready. I'm not ready to rush to her, but when I don't, I feel like shit. And I just watch and I learn so that actually I do just want to come in fast and fix this. Yeah, because they're my Queen of Cups. King and Queen of Cups. King and Queen of Cups in the reverse, not fucking telling each other. Distorted energy. Anyway, I can own that about my own union, right? So it's like basically, oh my god, that's shit. That's hilarious. This is like what I channeled to my client. Two people feeling exactly the fuck, two twin flames, because your divine counterparts feeling exactly fucking same about each other and not communicating it. And that was my clients today as well. And this is definitely mine, and this is definitely me mine as well. But again, I'm just going to stop right there because there can be that's where you just both don't know about the complications in each other's lives. Well, fucking everybody knows about my life. Actually, you don't. Like I always say, you might think you know what's going on in my life, people out there. You don't. So if you don't, neither does my twin flame. Right, okay. So there's something in that for everyone. Don't assume that you know what's going on in your twin flame's life because you just don't. Like, I don't know a fucking clue what's going on in my mind. I'm getting all started. So yeah, he doesn't know what's going on in mine. Right, what else do we need to know? What do we need to know for the twins? Surrendering, right? So there's a surrendering going on. And there's a healing going on. Pisces energy might have something significant about the upcoming Pisces moon, which will be right after the full moon. So the full moon's on the 1st, so it'll be sometime after that. And protection. Scorpio moon. What's fucking going on in this picture? But yeah, look, Scorpio sign. So there's something about you're being protected, whatever. Yeah, you're being protected. And waiting. Oh, interesting. There's a waiting going on, but it looks like they got what they were waiting for. Looks like she did too. Dreams. Oh dear, some of these are pretty kinky, man. Feelings. Gemini. He's like, please listen to me. Right, okay, so right. What else do we need to know? I'm going to end it because this has been really long. So I'm going to end it because this has been really long. Again, I feel some of you are in that vibe. Like this needs to end either way. Again, I do just feel that it's like I feel. Oh, actually, this makes sense. The one for for Thursday's energy was about It said I titled it perfectly timed twin flame unions. And like I always say, yeah, it's not fucking everyone's, but it is some folks out there. So I bet you that'll fit in my client. Actually, I'm not going to be surprised if there's some kind of shift there. So yeah, helpful person. You see, and that was me helping somebody be the alchemist of their own life when I just said that. Someone wants to help you. Think of whom that might be and initiate contact. For other people, though, that actually might be twin flames connecting to help one another. Because also that shorts also was about business partnerships with your twin flame, and that actually I've been helping people where that would be relevant to tell me a few folk as well. You have the Midas touch right now. In every project you begin turns to gold. So yeah, that's specifically for whoever that's going to speak to. And what's your thoughts? Well, this actually aligns with everything I said today in a session. It's important to only think about what you desire and not what you fear. And there we go. Waves of prosperity, new abundance and exciting opportunities wash over you now. And I literally know that's happening to some of you because of what I spoke about with some today and because of some of the emails I've had. Love it. Now I was going to do something where I didn't end up doing that in this one, but I was going to do like I'm going to focus on Venus retrograde until we come out of retrograde, right? And so I might film quite a few in advance. So I'm not going to do it like this is, I'm just going to do loads and I'll just release them. So they're not dated. Everything I do is timeless anyway, right? But basically, I didn't really do that today, but that's what I'll focus on the next time. But what I'm going to do is what do we need to know about some kind of theme that might fit with anything else I've said or anyone's flirt. It's Leo season. Yeah, I could leave it at that. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. I feel there's some fun, flirty energy coming in to the twins that are ready to sort of do that. But it's going to need someone to initiate it. And that's what I'm feeling is it's hard to imagine how that's going to happen. So just fucking, yeah, that's why it keeps saying surrender. And it's also hard for some people to imagine because you might be like, but they're with someone else, or I feel like they're with someone else, and this is the bit that like you're not meant to know. And even if they are, to be honest, you might be in a situation where someone's ended something and coming to you. It's uncomfortable, but I've helped people in this situation. Clearly decide, clearly decide what you want so it comes to you now. I just laugh because every time I see this card, I think of a twin flame and I can't remember telling that story, but I just do. And look. Avoid the trap of mistaking a fantasy for a true soul connection. Again, it's because some of these masculines are not coming forward because they honestly feel like they're going crazy, to be blunt, like they do. And we can all feel like that on this journey. So maybe me, I'm not a good example of that because I know it's real because of what I've been doing for so long. Because even when I've had people say that to me in readings about, oh, you might doubt that it's real, it's like, well, no, not really, because it gets mirrored to me daily several times a day how real it is. And this is the twin flame card. So notice everything remarkable about your relationships and heart. Yeah, like there's a heart to heart happening very soon and flirting, and so just be open. Be open. Be open in both senses of the word. Like be open to a miracle coming about where it really doesn't. This is hilarious. Look what I've just been led to. I just literally got led to Mr. Impossible. When I said that. So just be open to a miracle coming about where you literally think it's, yeah, that it's impossible that this is going to happen between you and your twin for whatever reason. Because they're with someone else, or because they're non-committal, or because they're a player, or again, because be careful how you keep seeing someone, because they're not going to be able to show up any other way if you keep seeing them like that. It also isn't an overnight transformation, but when someone has, yeah, you need to come out of your dark night soul at some point, so just be open. What else was I going to say there? But yeah, there's going to be be open about miracles coming about where it might seem possible, but also be open as in don't be coming from a defensive place. Honestly discuss it. Yeah, it's just what I said to my client earlier. You both need to honestly discuss your feelings with each other. I do need to stop talking and go and get a cup of tea though, because my throat is. Yeah, look, and the spirit's like, yeah, the answer to your question is a strong yes, definitely yes. So again, only you're going to know, is it you that needs to initiate it, or is it your twin? And I'm not going to tell you the answer to that. You're going to know which one you are. Right. And again, can I just say, it's like, this is how it is, right? If you, regardless of divine feminine, divine masculine, because some people have got different journeys where you may have been, you have to do it first and you might be a divine feminine, but if you've already in the past initiated and went forward, so that again, it mostly will be for people that it's like, I can't work that out. They're just saying, just say it how I'm saying it. It's like, if you know that you've taken brave leaps of faith in the past that you were shitting yourself about, then it's not you, basically. Like, your twin has to do that. So you're definitely, if you're like, I've never done that, or you might feel like yeah. It's basically, it's like, right, put it this way. If you're like, I'm not reaching out to them because it's not my place to do it, it's like, just really, and it can be quite difficult. You have to analyse, like, why am I not reaching out to them? And yeah, at this point in my journey, I really don't fucking mind saying, because I'm not really specifying when. I have had moments where it's like, I've said this before actually, and it'd always just be on his birthday, but it's not every birthday, it's just occasionally in the whole fucking time of celebration, which has been about a million years, I've said happy birthday, because I know that I'm either going to get fuck all back or I'm going to get a thanks or a kiss, and that's always what, you know what I mean, or just a fucking thanks, but usually it's nothing. And it's because I just sort of built myself up to, I always just usually felt like, I don't know why, but I feel like he needs to hear from me. So just really trust that, because you just never know how much your twin needed that at the time, even if they don't respond. Which, like I said, mine just doesn't respond. I'm not saying never, but most of the time that's how it goes. But they always read it. So again, but that's again, it makes sense to me. That's what my twin flame dynamic's like, because I get the tough situations is the best way to put it. Like I said that somebody said to me recently, there is so much love, which you've just seen when I done my own fucking card in front of you, which I do from time to time. I quite like doing that actually. It's like, not all the time, but I don't mind doing it when I'm guided to. Is and again, that's, let's be real here. I don't mind doing it, but my twin might mind me doing it. But again, it's kind of like, what the fuck have I got? You know what I mean? I really do feel like that. I feel I'm surrendered to, what the fuck have I got? I've got nothing to lose. It's like, yeah. So it's like, it's that kind of freedom of it. It's like, I can't hold back from being myself. And whether you see it as, unfortunately, this is my calling to talk out about this journey, I just know that the more I do that, it frees my twin up from whenever he's not being himself eventually. Right, okay. I'm just aware that it's about to get to 144. So what else do we need to know about this? Pets, that's a random one. You love and understand animals, but actually, weirdly, that is so gonna have meaning to my fucking client. That's hilarious. Yeah, just trust me, that means something to her. But also, look, take out the words. That looks like two people that are very different having a deep conversation. The wee dog to the horse, but that could just be like you and your twin flame. It's an unlikely pairing, but it just works. Love heals fear. The power of your love can help bullies and angry people be less afraid. There's a heart-to-heart needed. Yeah, and decide, look, this is, oh my god, and that says the same fucking thing that says. It's time to clearly make a decision about what you want. Divine Masculines, it's time to make a decision about what it is you want. And I just really do feel that's going to speak to who it needs to. Because it's time to try something new. You'll only know you can do something if you try. Wow. You'll know in the morning. Fucking hell. And then look, this is hilarious. And look, when you wake up, you'll have a better idea about what to do. Relax until then. So someone's trying to make a decision, finish what you started. You started something important, now it's time to complete it. That's a twin flame journey. You just got a 144 when I said twin flame journey. So yeah, it might be trying something new because your twin flame is a new person. Because actually with my client, that is one of the things that isn't like me and mine, is she's only known him a few years in this lifetime, but they're absolutely, there's no fucking doubt in my mind from the synchronicities that come, or hers, that is her twin flame. And but they've had many, many lives together. But it could even be that it's like, finish what you started, because you started something with your twin flame. Like I said, it's not a coincidence that when me and mine were, getting close for the first time in this lifetime. And I'm not even joking when I say that, because that's what twin flames are about. You've had many past lives of them. That was started a long time ago, and now it's time to it's time to finish it. Even if that just means having a conversation, and you'll only know you can do something if you try. Put your energy into basics and let go of excess, and it's just basically you don't need to push too hard for all this to happen. It'll happen in the weirdest and most wonderful ways, and we've got healing family issues, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. That always feels like what it says on the card, and also releasing limiting beliefs. Even when you're lost, there's always a way out of the labyrinth. That's hilarious, because I was actually in a maze like that at the weekend, and I found it. I forgot to put it up, because it's not that juicy. It was just we were walking around it for ages trying to find my pals' kids. I'm joking. They're older, but it was like they were better at it than us. And then they just guided me up to do not go where the path may lead, and go instead where there is no path, and leave a trail. Allow your heart and soul to sing joy, passion. And Leo's about passion too. And so are twin flames. Yep. And then we've got romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. And we've also got engagement. Your love life's ascending to higher level commitment. So like I said, it's always this bit that feels more important. But that might be relevant to some people. But remember what I said, engagements aren't a wise idea, guys. And and I've been a retrograde, so congratulations if that's a thing. But fucking hell, you might be like, darling, could you just do that again when we're a wee bit out of the woods when it's divine time. 1111, an important number for twin flames. It symbolises the harmony and balance of soul counterparts. Hilarious, right? I'm going to go. This was a long one, but it needed to be. Maybe your twin flames journey's been a long journey. I know that's going to have been it, people. Right? Please like, comment, subscribe. You know where I am if you want to book a session. Like I said, I'm not going to be as available as I usually am this month, because I'm taking note of these signs that keep coming through about having a holiday, or like I said, for me, it's not so much a holiday, it's just needing to have a bit more time myself. But I usually just kind of do that intermittently, I think would be the word anyway. You know what I mean? I just kind of feel guided to when I'm going to do it. So it really just depends. If you want to book a session, you can book it and then email me, but I would always probably just sort of email and be like, right, I'm about to book, but what's your availability like? Because it might be that you need to wait a wee bit longer than what, because what I'm saying is usually you can get it like, if you tell me the week before, we can make it for either later on the same week or the next week, but it's not quite going to be like that. You could be, some of you might need to wait till September basically. So if you don't want to do that, then I get in touch soon and we can schedule when I have got time. But yeah, and again, that's not even to do with me, like, because again, although I keep saying, oh yeah, I mean, like you said, I know I have got like a social event planned. Again, remember, I'm not going to be fucking shouting about telling folk when I'm going out and that, whatever, but it's like I've got something in the diary, and then and I'm hoping to do a couple more things. But even if I'm just doing that, that's fine by me. But it's kind of like I'm just focused on me having fun, and I don't need to drink to have fun. Although I certainly will be drinking that night out. But do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, yeah, I'm just focused on me having fun. I think that actually just nails it. So I hope you're focused on you having fun too. Keep it in balance, so keep it in balance. Like I said, it wouldn't actually be fun to me if I just spent the whole August getting pissed. Once upon a time in a past life it was that, but that doesn't sound fun to me. Doing it once to let my hair down and have a dance does sound fun. But anyway, see you later. Bye.